some offsides. That didn't really happen, and so protecting him will be without the resources of Isaiah Jacobs once again on offense. But I think the key, as we talked about last week, is receivers making plays earlier on in the game rather than waiting until the fifth quarter. So I think a key is going to be Will Keeney and his receivers and using the passing game more to try to open up the running game as it did in the latter parts of last week. Looking at the defensive side, though, a key cog missing, as we mentioned. Keywan Hay is not going to be playing that middle linebacker, and he had almost 20 tackles in that game last week before he went out with a broken fibula. Probably be without his ability the next 5, possibly 6 weeks. Talked with him before the Vol game, and he tried to let me know that he heals fast, and I said, well, we don't need you as early as much as we do late, so don't overdo something there. And so the middle linebacker is going to have to be a key. Dye will be in that position, and I think your other linebackers are going to have to make up ground there as well. And I think if there was an area last week just a little bit concerning was the defensive secondary. We got burned a couple of times early and felt like we were having to make up, shore up in different areas. So I think the key when the Fayetteville offense is on the field is primarily going to be our secondary and our ability to tackle in open space. Very athletic is this Fayetteville ball club, as you mentioned, scored 51 points last week in that ball game.
On the road, no less.
On the road,
yeah.
And their receiver, Connor Flanagan, had over 300 yards receiving in that ball game and 4 touchdowns. He's number 2, and we'll have to keep an eye on him tonight, kind of like last week, number 1. You kind of want to know where he's going to line up and then set your defense.
Will Keeney is going to get the start at quarterback tonight as we take a look at our Duralast roofing starting lineups. Ahmad Triplett again going in at the running back position. How about Grant Van Landingham and Trey Goins, both with stellar performances last week? In the slot positions, Chance Lucas and Dawson Adams. Mario Kirby at halfback tonight. Tyler Dillingham at left tackle. Grayson Isaac working the left guard position. Devon Richbow at center. Louis Boizo in that right guard position. Jackson Cordes is going to be in the right tackle, and Hilton Mosby playing at tight end this evening. On that defensive side of the football, the only big change again is that Hagan Hood is going to be coming in for the ailing Keywan Hay. And again, if you missed our starting lineups last week, Hayden Grant, the defensive end, Aiden Odell, the defensive tackle. Those tackles going to be Hilton Mosby. Cayman Severs is the defensive end. Outside linebacker, Ahmad Triplett. Inside linebacker, again, Hagan Hood taking the spot of Keywan Hay, and Jaden Thomason in at that position as well. Gage Laney at free safety tonight, and Dawson Adams again playing both ways. Cornerbacks Omar Barker and Deuce Mayberry. What a job they did last week. Not just Deuce with that interception that really turned the momentum around for the Owasso Rams, but we sure called Omar Barker's name a lot, and I think he really surprised a lot of people with the way that he stepped up in that first game.
Yeah, really shut down the receiver that was very active for Bentonville West last week and came in, did a fantastic job. That allowed Deuce to roam a little bit with more freedom on the other side of the field, the wide side of the field, and I think we'll see coaches do that again here tonight. Coach Bobby Klink, the defensive coordinator, did a fantastic job of making adjustments, and I think the thing we learned last week, Grant, is as long as you've got Will Keeney at quarterback, you have a chance until the clock's at triple zeros.
You know, what a kid. I mean, just interviewing him at our Hideaway Pizza Coaches Show, it was obvious the depth of knowledge that he has about the game of football. The way that he sees the field is probably at a higher level than many of the quarterbacks in his recruiting class.
Yeah, he's really a student of the ball game, and he just he uses that to inspire his leadership ability to spill over to other players. And the thing about Will, so humble and just wants to win. And I noticed in your interview that he really gave the credit to his teammates, and so gracious of him to do that, and that makes guys want to play for you, to go out and make plays. And so that's what makes him such an integral part of this ball club, is the fact not only does he make plays, but the humility in which he does it.
I wanted to say to him, man, I know, but talk about you a little.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of guy, you know, and definitely getting to know his parents, his mom Dusty, fine folks, and they're kind of the same way. I mean, you know,
and
they
Trip as well.
Yeah, they are definitely raising him well, and all of these kids. Just it's like I told Coach Blankenship, not trying to kiss his ring or anything, but you know, those are the kind of guys you want your daughter to date. You know,
absolutely.
down the road. If she brings an Owasso Ram home, I'm probably not going to say no. You know.
Well, and that's one of the reasons Seth Luttrell at North Texas State offered him so quick, is to try to get him committed, and there's a tight relationship there between the Keeney family and North Texas State. So Will has committed down there to go play with Mason Fine, another local quarterback from Locust Grove.
They breathe that mean green, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach Luttrell, who actually saw him play with the Muskogee Roughers before he had a great career at the University of Oklahoma, has really done a fantastic job at North Texas State.
All right, our team captain's coming out to flip the coin for the opening coin toss. While they do that, we will take a 1-minute timeout and be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on Brightstar 100.1 KYFM. Tyler Dillingham and Kewan Hay. Hay is out there on the crutches. They're performing the opening coin toss as we speak. Some of the Arkansas 7A refs are out there with their coin and ready to get this one underway, Steve. And I don't think it really matters where we are. It looks like Owasso is going to move from right to left on the radio dial. Fayetteville moving from left to right. Owasso will receive to start out the opening half of play.
Yeah, you like that? The Rams here on the road in their white jerseys, red pants, and the traditional red Ram helmet with the white horns. Just another good look with these combinations that the Rams have in uniforms as teams get ready to come out onto the field. Grant, a little bit different setting here tonight as we're actually in a press box over the visitor side. The sun setting in the west, and it is beaming down on us in a press box that has no air conditioning. So we thought it was hot last week.
Right.
It's really toasty in here tonight.
Well, I tell you, this is definitely an interesting. I don't know if this would actually technically qualify as a treehouse or not, but we did have to climb a long ladder to get up into the press box, and we are high above the visitor section. And as I look out the window here, our visitor section is almost full. There's a lot of folks from Owasso who have made this trip. Fayetteville, coached by Billy Dawson. This is his second year. He was hired to replace Bill Blankenship. Had state championships at 6A Russellville, my alma mater, the year before he came here. 3 state championships at Nashville High School down in Class 4A there in southwest Arkansas, just about 30 miles northeast of Texarkana. So he has had a storied career here in the great state of Arkansas, and he definitely knows his stuff and will bring a good team to the field tonight. Owasso, of course, coached by Bill Blankenship. He was the coach here in Fayetteville in 2016, took them to their Class 7A state championship in his first year here. They had back-to-back championships in 2015 and 2016. The 2015 year under Darrell Patton. He resigned under some scrutiny toward the end of that year, and Bill was hired to replace him, and then Owasso came calling, and you know the rest of the story. So.
It's just been a fantastic run for the Owasso Ram. He has really advanced this program. It was taken to a new level with Coach Frederick back in 2006, and then Coach Bill Patterson, so successful for many years, getting the Rams to breaking that semifinal curse that we had on us, and was able to get into that. Just ran into some pretty good Union and Jinx ball clubs that had been there for a long time, and then Coach Blankenship comes in and just kind of keeps things rolling and gets us over the curve. But like we said, he's put all that behind us. They've retired the championship trophy. It's a new season and a great, beautiful night, though, here on the, I guess you would say this is the campus of the University of Arkansas, where the only thing that separates us is a small hill with trees.
Back deep to receive for the Rams near the 5-yard line. Julian Stoner and also Deuce Mayberry tonight, as they will move from right to left on the radio dial. The kicking honors will be taken by Fayetteville's Trendon Meadows, and we are ready for football here in Northwest Arkansas this evening as we are getting this one underway a half hour earlier of the rest of our Oklahoma colleagues. The kick is through the air, a low kick. It's going to be picked up by Deuce Mayberry. He let it go back into the end zone, had a finger on it, but I believe they're going to call that a touchback, and Owasso will have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, Steve.
Well, that may have been a missed opportunity there. Looked like Deuce could have been able to get in front of that football, and he had blockers in front of him. The ball got down to him quickly, so kick coverage was not able to really get in position, but the Rams will come out and take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
1st and 10, our own 20, moving right to left on the radio dial if you're just joining us in Fayetteville, Arkansas this evening, where the Rams are visiting the Purple Dogs. Ahmad Triplett, the running back, he's next to Will Keeney in the shotgun. Split to the left, Grant Van Landingham, and also it looks like Keelan Carney is in the ball game as well this evening.
Also, Grant, this is another Cox game here in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
And so we'll have those unique timeouts coming in and back from breaks and commercials.
Y'all can mute your TVs, though, and listen to the
Ram side.
The 200th broadcast of Steve Howley on the radio. Here's a handoff. Ahmad Triplett up the middle on that right hash mark. He'll get about a yard, if any, to bring up 2nd down in the long 9 for the Fayetteville, for the Owasso Rams. Fayetteville Purple Dogs getting the defensive move started here early in this ball game.
You got a big fella at nose guard, Murray, and he clogs up a lot of ground inside in this 4-2 defense.
Triplett to the right, takes the hand. No, Will Keeney actually on the keeper. Faked the handoff to Ahmad Triplett and was immediately tackled by a Fayetteville defender. That was Alex Dunn, the junior, on the stop there.
Well, they're just firing off the football right now, so with this long down and distance, maybe time to run some type of a screen play, get Mario Kirby involved in the ball game. Had a big play last week.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. Split to the left is going to be Trey Goins. Wide to the right, Van Landingham. Carney again, now man in motion to the left. Back to throw, Will Keeney. He'll gun it up the middle of the field, trying to connect with Van Landingham. It's dropped there at about the 35-yard line.
Pretty tight coverage there by the Fayetteville corner, but it looked like it got into the hands of Van Landingham. Probably should have been able to make that catch. In any case, it's going to put the Rams in a punting formation.
They will do the punt formation, as you mentioned, and Alex Haight is going to kick it away for the Rams, who go 3 and out on this first touch of the football. And I'm sure that Coach Blankenship looking for a workaround on this intense Fayetteville defense right now. Here's the kick. It is wobbly and will bounce near the 48-yard line. And it'll take a Ram
go for Fayetteville back into Ram territory. It was a great punt, almost to the 45-yard line, but then the knuckler rolled back to about the 35, so Fayetteville's going to get to come out and start with a short field.
Yeah, they've got good field position here as they'll take it over 1st and 10 at the Owasso 31-yard line. In at quarterback for them, Darius Bowers. You heard a lot about him on the pregame show. He's got twins to the right this time, and he'll take it out of the gun off the left hash mark. Bowers takes the snap, drops back to throw this time, slings it up the left side of the field. His receiver immediately met by Deuce Mayberry at about the 24-yard line, and on the run there is Augie Bradick, a senior for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs.
Bowers just able to get that over the outstretched hands of Kamen Sievers. If he would have been able to tip that, he might have had a pick six.
4 men to the right here. Lone setback is Bowers. He slings it down the right side of the field and connects with Connor Flanagan. Flanagan down to the 15, down to the 10, right down at about the 6-yard line. And on the stop there for Owasso is Jaden Thomason.
Well, and that's the guy we talked about in the pregame. Bowers had that big game last week, or Flanagan did, in the receiving area, over 300 yards in that ball game, 4 touchdowns, and he continues here tonight. Quick set.
Twins to the left, and now on the keeper, rolling to the left. Actually, Bo Stuckey took a direct snap there, rolled to the left side, and got to about the 7-yard line, no further.
Trying to see Ahmad Triplett was able to get outside, make contain, set the edge, and a great play, because if Bowers gets outside of him, he may be able to make it to the left pylon.
Bowers with 1 man to the left and the man in motion to the right. Out of the gun, he'll take it off the left hash mark here. He fakes a handoff, slings it up the middle of the field. Is it caught? Yes. Touchdown Fayetteville. Purple Dogs will play.
They're going to mark him short.
Will they mark him short here?
Yes, I thought he was in the end zone, but when he made his turn, he came back in, and the tackle was made. Gosh, that's not even the 5-inch line.
Oh, that's going to be 3rd and centimeters, Steve. Maybe even millimeters. You got an inch to millimeter conversion chart, Rob? Not sure. Bowers with 1 man to his right, Jacob Sheritz.
Watch him run right.
And now
we're going to have so much time. That may
yeah.
back him up. We had to move it. That's huge, Grant, that the tackle was made, and I'm sorry I did not see that, but to not give the receiver that touchdown, knocking him out of the end zone, and now this penalty sets the Rams up to be able to get a stop and maybe hold the Purple Dogs to a field goal. Let's see if they can make a play here.
8:53 left on the John E. Kohler Custom Watches game clock. We welcome them as a new advertiser to our broadcast here in the Tie-In Plaza in Owasso. So that's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Bowers with his receiver right there next to him, rolls to the right, slings it up the field. Is it in?
They're not signaling.
They're not signaling it yet.
They're going to say he's down once again, just short of the goal line.
Listen to those Fayetteville fans booing. The old boo birds are coming out.
So a big decision here for Fayetteville. I mean, I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they are. He looks like my dog facing an electric fence. It just stops, you know. Can't get in, can't get past it at all. Owasso's defense setting up that goal line play here. Bowers taking the snap, handoff, or actually on the keeper. They stop him. Oh my! They stop him at the 3-yard line. Look at that. How about that for the Owasso defense?
Ahmad Triplett in on the tackle along with Hayden Grant. And that is a huge turnaround. Looked like the Purple Dogs had scored twice, but it wasn't to be. A penalty forced them back, and the Rams are able to come up with a huge stop.
If y'all were watching on the OwassoSportsNetwork.com, you saw it. Man, oh man. They were able to make that stop there, and Owasso will have it 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line. So they're going to have to make up some ground and do it here pretty quickly. Keeney in close, ready to take it. Triplett, the lone back behind him. Keeney ready to take the snap, but we had laundry on the field.
I believe we had movement on the Rams' offensive line.
Christian Favalora just rolling into the press box. We're going to get him set up with his sideline microphone here in just a few minutes.
Actually, they're going to say against Fayetteville, and that'll move the football at least out of the shadow of the goal line.
So movement against the Bulldogs, and that'll put us on the 7 here. Keeney ready to take the snap. Ahmad Triplett right there next to him. Keeney rolling to the right this time, looking to dial up a receiver. He tried to connect. His drop
pass. It just continues.
That was Keelan Carney trying to make that catch there. Couldn't do it.
Got to bring the ball in with your hands. You can't let it get into your shoulder pads. I like the call by Coach Blankenship, though, to move the pocket. Got great blocking on that right side by the offensive line. Gave Will some extra time to extend the play, but got to make the catch.
Keeney takes a snap, handoff, triplet up the middle, gets to the 10, up to the 15, almost. Well, he made the 14-yard line there, but that's a good gain, and that'll move up the chains for another Westerman Financial Services first down, the first of the ball game here for the Owasso Rams tonight.
Alton Lust comes into the ball game, very athletic, just started football this season, and if this kid catches it, I cannot wait because it's going to be electric.
Trips close into the left.
Got single coverage on the far side.
Out of the gun, Keeney slinging it up the right side. Can he connect? Did he? No.
Just missed him, but that's the isolation play that you want. Good coverage, though, by the Purple Dogs.
You'll have to forgive me as I was trying to find Peyton Lusk's number there. It's like that old Manford Man song, Blinded by the Light. We're looking right into the sun.
It's coming right at us now.
It's a little hard to see that number there. I apologize. But again, trips to the right this time. As
Lusk again in single coverage over here to the left.
Rolling to the right is Keeney. He'll connect with Mayberry at the 15 up to the 17-yard line. I'll move him up a little bit there, Steve.
Yeah, they didn't do us any favors here with the scoreboard, Grant, because it's down at the north end of our press box over here on the near corner. We almost have to get a rope to hang out the window to see what the time is.
They might as well put it in Springdale as far as I'm concerned because I can't see it from where I'm sitting. 7 minutes on the John E. Kohler Custom Watches game clock as Keeney taking the snap, dropping back to throw, rolling out to the right this time, trying to sling it to an open teammate. He threw it across the middle, couldn't find anybody.
He just throws it down, intended for a mod triplet, a hot read for Keeney that time. Again, he had good protection, rolled out to his right, but good coverage in the secondary by Fayetteville.
Now we got to bring out the punting teams as it is going to be Alexander Haight taking that one.
Teams kind of filling each other out right now, and so far all the snaps have taken place on the Rams side of the 50-yard line.
Well, if we can turn up our defense like we did a minute ago, I mean, if we could do that every play, they'd never get anywhere. Hayde ready to kick it away. He does so. It's an end-over-end kick, and it is going to be
there we go. Got a good roll that time.
Yeah, it takes a Owasso roll back to the 41-yard line. And that is where Fayetteville will have it 1st and 10. Ball game tonight brought to you by Academic Advantage. They do a whole lot more than tutoring for your child. They specialize in things like ACT prep, diagnosis and treatment of ADD and ADHD. They'll take care of your child as well. Visit them on the web at academicadvantage.org. And also by Duralast Roofing. They have roofs that are built to last and affordable. Zach Harbaugh and Duralast Roofing ready to take care of you.
Back good to job here on your side.
Connecting with Bo Stuckey, and he connected with an Owasso receiver at the line of scrimmage.
Barker able to throw the block off and come in. They try to do that quick out. I'm sure they've seen that on film. Barker comes up and makes a nice play on the, well, no gain. I thought it was a loss, but no gain on the play.
I'm not sure if the Arkansas State Police will investigate that head-on collision or not. Here's Bowers.
Another nice play, trying to run off the line. He can't do it. Cole Creekmore coming up from his linebacker spot, and the defense starting to fire off on some of these Purple Dogs.
They drag him down right there near the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 from the 42-yard line. Bowers ready to roll right here with a man right next to him in the form of his running back. Here's a pass up the right side. He'll connect at the 45-yard line of the Rams as he got that one to Bo Stuckey, and Stuckey was ran out of bounds, but they'll get a 1st down for Fayetteville.
Just ran a 10-yard out at the 1st down marker, and a nice throw by Bowers for the 1st down. Rams had a chance and let it get away from them.
Shotgun formation, trips to the left now for Darius Bowers. Off the right hash mark, he'll take it. Dropping back to throw this time. Looking to dial up a receiver. He connects with an open man at the 27-yard line. And on the reception there is Beasley. And they'll move up those chains again for another Fayetteville 1st down. We're going to get Christian Favalora hooked in here in just a little bit. He made the trip over this evening. Shotgun formation, handoff, first man through is going to take it out around the right
got
side.
a holding, yeah, there's the flag.
Finally throw the flags there, as that's going to be Farmer on the run for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. He got down to about the 15-yard line, but we'll see what the yellow laundry determines here.
Well, I believe it was Creekmore again trying to get outside. He had contained, but Augie Braddock had a handful of jersey on the way outside too. Grant, I got a lot of people I want to thank tonight. You know, you talk about 200 games, but I've had a lot of friends and people over the years. You know, first and foremost, my family, my wife Renee, and my kids have put up with me, letting me do this for a long time. But also Dave and Pam Goodell. It all started back in 2001 at a quarterback club meeting in their living room that got it all going. So I want to thank them as well.
Trips to the left side. Bowers on the keeper, runs up the right hash mark to the 30-yard line, gets to the 29 before he's dragged out of bounds.
Cayman Seavers in on the tackle after about a 5-yard gain on the play.
I'd like to thank you for 15 years giving KYFM an opportunity to preempt Delilah.
I don't know that she knows me by my first name, but
well, you never
I've
know.
helped solve a lot of people's problems too.
No, I'm just kidding.
I have some dedications.
She has a good show. I'm just giving you a hard time. On the keeper, Bowers up that right hash mark. He'll get to the 22-yard line.
Aiden Odell in on the tackle, so Fayetteville really likes to use that spread offense, and it causes problems for this Ram defense. Bowers very athletic, throws a good football. You've got to cover, you've got to spy the quarterback. A lot of times it's empty backfield.
3rd down and 8 for the Purple Dogs. Trips to the left, and Bo Stuckey split to the right. Bowers off the right hash mark, drops back to throw, looks at
turn around. We had an interception if we just turned around and pay attention. He had an open receiver.
Yeah, ball falls short as Gage Laney was right there on that left hash mark waiting to try to make a play, but he was a little too far ahead.
This will be an interesting call here on 4th down. They're going to go for a pretty lengthy field goal. Coming out for the kick is Huxley Richardson.
Well, that's one thing about Billy Dawson. You know, I've known him and watched him coach for a long time, and he isn't afraid to take chances, and you'll see a few of these things come out like these long field goals where he'll take the chance before he goes conservative. Here's the kick. It is up.
It's good.
Is through the uprights, and he made it. The gamble worked, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Fayetteville Purple Dogs with 4:02 left on the Johnny Kohler Custom Watches game clock. We'll take a 30-second break, and when we come back, the Owasso Rams will have a touch of the football. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on Bright Star 100.1 KYFM, presented by InsideOwasso.com. I'll get you hooked up between quarters if that's okay. The boss, Molly Merrill, back here calling the shots tonight. It's a full house. Deuce Mayberry and Julian Stoner back deep to receive for Owasso as they set up shop at about the 3. And getting ready to kick it away is Huxley Richardson for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs as he'll tee it up at the 40. I'm proud to report that the sun is about to go down.
That's what I was going to say, too, where we can at least begin to see.
Down behind Kessler Mountain out here to our west. The end-over-end kick fielded by Mayberry in the end zone. They'll blow the whistle and call it a touchback, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, Steve.
Well, let's see if the Rams can't get something going. They've had a couple of opportunities. Again, those drop passes, they've got to get that corrected, Grant. We've dialed up the right plays. the offensive line is doing a good job of protecting Will Keeney in the pocket, and even when they are able to break loose, they move the pocket out to his right. I mean, everything's going well, just that final execution. I think the Rams just need to put a good drive, good steady drive together, maybe get Mario Kirby more involved in the ball game. Now we're going to see empty backfield with 5 receivers.
Nobody behind Will Keeney, and a man in motion to the left. He'll take the handoff. That's Mayberry, but the whistles blow before he can go anywhere.
Well, they're talking to one of the Rams. Let's see what it's about. Didn't have his mouthpiece in or something. I'm not sure if it's an equipment issue.
False start. Yeah, false start on the Rams. So
by the center. Okay. So that'll knock us back a few yards. We'll go back to the 15-yard line and have 1st and 15 from the 15. I'm going to say Javon Richbow, but you don't see that very often called on the center.
Eddie Nava is in the gun beside Keeney. He'll take the toss to the 20. He goes 15. Nava at the 30. Breaking free. He's on his horse at the 50. Down to the 40. Down to the 35. 30. Fumble on the play. Who's got it?
The Rams.
I think we recovered at about the 25-yard line, Steve.
He was running away. The defender got him from behind. I think it was Peyton Lusk that came up with the football. Too much excitement on one play for me, Grant, as it looked like Fast Eddie was going to take it to the house. He got the ball stripped, but that's great offensive mind by his receivers to follow him trying to block, and then Lusk having the awareness to jump on the football.
You see how he just sped up and away from everybody. That's what I'm going to do when I go through West Siloam Springs on the way home tonight. So just get away and hit the gas. That's what Eddie Nava did. Now Will Keeney getting ready to roll here. He's got Hagan Hood right there next to him. Hood watches as Keeney rolls past him after faking a handoff on the keeper. He'll get up to the 15, still on his feet at the 12, and he was leveled there by a Fayetteville defender at about the 11-yard line, but that'll be good enough for another Westerman Financial Services first down.
This is the kind of drive we were talking about, Grant.
Yeah.
Just execute and get it down the field. And they've been doing it by the run.
Carney and Van Landingham split to the left, dropping back to throw is Keeney, and he gets drilled by a Fayetteville defender. That is going to be Coleman Johnson on the tackle there, but they throw the laundry, and we'll see what the flag is.
I think it's even going to be holding against the Rams.
Well, that'll give us a little more room to work with, but that's not what you want to see when you're that close to the end zone. So, let's see what they do right here.
Hate to have a penalty on a play and then get your quarterback thrown on his back by a big man. That kid is big. We don't have their sizes down here, but that Jalen Oliver, he's just a junior. He takes up a lot of space at that right defensive tackle position.
Owasso at the Purple Dog 22. They just jumped off sides, and they're going to throw a flag right here. So we may get those yards back on the Fayetteville penalty. And they're going to march us up a little bit. If you're listening on the radio, it's a beautiful place to play here in Fayetteville. The sun is finally setting, and we'll see those lights come on here in just a minute.
Wouldn't mind seeing a breeze come through in just a minute either. So.
It's usually 7 degrees cooler in Fayetteville than anywhere else in Arkansas, but not tonight. Keeney back to throw, this time rolling to the right, evading a defender on his horse on the keeper at the 15. He'll drag him down back at the 11-yard line. He thought about throwing, then decided to start galloping, and he got to the 13-yard line. I was a little generous on his yardage. We'll see what Coach B decides to dial up here. Grant Van Landingham will be split to the left with Colton Carney. Wide to the right is going to be Trey Goins for the Rams, and Keeney splitting the hash marks, drops back, hands off to...
Yeah, that was not well blocked at all as he hands the ball off and tackled immediately.
On the run there, Hagan Hood there, and they going to bring out the kicking team. I think we're going to try a field goal here.
Yeah, too much pressure off that right offensive side, and Hood didn't even have an opportunity to try to get outside the tackle.
So they'll set up on the right hash mark here, and Christian Johnson is going to do the honors for the Rams. getting ready to attempt this field goal here, about a 35-yarder. Here's the kick. It's up through the uprights and good. We got a tie ball game, 3-3 here as we have 1 minute 40 seconds left on the John E. Kohler Custom Watches game clock. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football presented by InsideOwasso.com on KYFM. YFM and on the app, and also on OwassoSportsNetwork.com.
Sun settled, and that made a lot of difference just through that break.
They finally set behind the mountain here, and now doing the kicking honors, it is going to be Alex Hay.
So now we want to make it a long field for Fayetteville. Let's get a deep kick, hopefully out of the end zone.
Back deep to receive, it's going to be Bo Stuckey and Carrington Taylor for the Owasso Rams. They'll kick it back into the end zone, and it'll be 1st and 20 for the Purple Dogs.
And that's what you want to do. They've had a short field on their first 2 drives, but that last drive allowed the Rams, they got a field goal out of it, but even almost more importantly is the fact that they were able to move the ball down the field and give Fayetteville a long field and maybe give this defense a little more room to make some plays, force Fayetteville into a punting situation.
1st and 10 Rams, Purple Dogs at the 20-yard line. Dropping back to throw, it is going to be Darius Bowers. He will connect with the open Connor Flanagan, who we heard a lot about from Coach Blankenship, played for him as a sophomore. He gets up to about the 31-yard line or so, and that'll move up the chains for the Purple Dogs.
Gage Laney coming up to make the tackle.
Twins to the right side, 1 man to the left. Back to throw, Bowers slings it up the left side of the field, connects with an open man at the 38-yard line. On the run there, Luke Charbonneau is the receiver for the Purple Dogs.
Hurry up offense. What you got to be careful of is your defensive backs creeping up, because right now Fayetteville just doing that little dink and dump stuff, and they're going to take a shot deep. You got to make sure you stay disciplined in the secondary.
Bowers with Torrance Farmer beside him in the gun off the left hash mark. He drops back to throw after faking a handoff, in trouble, slings it up the left side of the field and into the Fayetteville stands almost, and that'll leave the
Coach Blake's trying to get an intentional grounding there on the play. I don't know that there was a receiver real close in the area. Also looked like there might have been another hold as the Rams were in pursuit, but as it is, it just falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
There were plenty of receivers, they just weren't playing.
Not in that area.
Not in that area. Out of the gun, dropping back to throw is Bowers. He'll connect with an open man at the 39.
Great job by Barker, and then got some help from Ahmad Trippett. Barker was being blocked to the outside. He stayed disciplined with his right shoulder, turning the defender in, able to hit the offensive player. That is Keandre Conley, just enough for Trippett to finish him off. That's a big play, Grant.
3rd down and about 8 to go from the 43-yard line.
Tell you what I like better tonight on defense already, though, is the number of jerseys pursuing and the good tackling.
Empty backfield behind Bowers, the quarterback. He'll drop back to throw.
Get him!
Sling out to the right side. He'll sling it up the right side of the field, trying to connect with an open receiver down at the 42-yard line. Couldn't do it. The pass intended for Torrance Farmer, and that'll bring up 4th down now and about 8 to go for the Purple Dogs.
Dawson Adams there in coverage, and I tell you what, you gotta be careful of this Darius Bowers. He's very athletic, moves around in the pocket, kind of that linky. He's not as big, but kind of that Cam Newton, the way he glides around the pocket and just is able to elude the defenders.
On 4th down, they are
going to quick kick.
Going to quick kick it here. The kick is up the center of the field. It'll bounce high at about the 15-yard line and back into the end zone as Connor Flanagan came out to do the kicking duties, Steve. He does everything but drives the bus for the Purple Dogs.
And it's a home game, so he didn't have to do that tonight.
No, he didn't, that's for sure. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 20 as everybody's huddling on their respective sides of the field. I think Coach B taking a minute to talk things over with his crew before they get back onto the field. We'll see what Will Keeney and company do. They spotted on the left hash mark from the 20-yard line here. Keeney has Nava set up beside him. Twins to the left, one-man split to the right. Handoff to Eddie Nava. Up the middle he goes. He'll get to the 34-yard line. Gain of just a few on the play here.
Offensive line is really firing off the football, Grant, and I know that's going to give them more confidence, and Coach Croft has really got to like that.
Make that the 25-yard line as it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. And Steve, I can finally report that the sun has set over Northwest Arkansas. We couldn't be more grateful. So with that, we take a timeout. And as we do that, we'll let you know our score. Tied at 3-3-all as we end the first quarter. When we come back, Owasso Ram football continues. It's presented by InsideOwasso.com on Bright Star 100.1 KYFM. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, Rob Williams, Christian Favalora along with you tonight. Ryan Merrill and Andy Hodges patrolling the sideline. Andy will have a complete photo gallery of tonight's ball game coming up afterwards on InsideOwasso.com. And now the Rams will be taking it the other direction as they will have it 2nd down and 5 at their own 25, moving left to right on the radio dial. Grant Merrill and Steve Mowry here in the booth. It's Steve Mowry's 200th game tonight, so y'all text him and congratulate him. Dropping that to throw. Keeney, he'll connect with Mayberry at the 35, 40, 50, up to the 40.
Out of bounds.
Did he step out of bounds? They say yes.
Here's the 40-yard line, but
he was running toward the end zone, and he did not make that errant step according to the referees. He would have taken it to the house, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, no argument from the coaching staff, but Deuce Mayberry, when he turned that corner, he has a different gear than everybody else on the field.
Oh, man.
That's fun.
And I tell you, it was that same gear he used when he intercepted the football the other night against Bentonville West. I mean, it was just that type of intensity. Keeney back to throw, connects with an open man. He's drilled there at the line. Mario Kirby trying to make the run after making a short catch there and couldn't do it. As a big stop made, it was actually led by Darius Bowers for Fayetteville. Trendon Meadows also credited with being a part of that, and that'll be a loss of 3 yards to bring up 2nd down and 13. Keeney, twins to the right this time, one man split to the left, man in motion to the left, the handoff to Nava as he tries to drill it up the middle. He'll get back up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, he'll get drilled himself. A good shot right up there in the middle.
Just shy of the original line of scrimmage. I'm sorry, Steve.
That tackle made by Melvin Cominda. I'll tell you what, this defensive line is pretty good for Fayetteville. Very athletic. Linebackers very active as well.
Van Landingham and Carney split to the left, and now Keeney getting a word from the sideline before he gets things started here. Nava's right there next to him in the shotgun. He's ready to take the snap. Keeney looking, and now he'll drop back to throw after taking the snap.
He's got a deep receiver.
Now he'll look out and try to find an open man. He can't do it as he intended to pass for Mario Kirby down at the Fayetteville 43-yard line, but that's going to bring up 4th down and about 11. They'll bring out the kicking teams here.
Had two men really open down the middle of the field, and that's the first time Wills really had to make a choice and was just unable to drop it in there. But still, I like the game plan that the Rams are using, the offensive play calling that's going on right here. You just got to finish these plays.
Haight, the kicker. The Fayetteville band rubbing it in. They were playing another one, Bites the Dust. I don't think they were trying to promote the upcoming Freddie Mercury movie. They were telling us giving us a what for. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We've got 10:37 left to go in the John E. Kohler Custom Watches game clock. Take a break and be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM, presented by InsideOwasso.com. .27-yard line. Fayetteville's own 27-yard line as they move from right to left on the radio dial. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, Christian Favalora along with you here in Northwest Arkansas tonight. Trips to the right, now to the gun is Darius Bowers for the Purple Dogs. He fakes a handoff and ends up rolling up the left side to the 30-yard line, pushed out of bounds at the 31, Steve.
Good defense again. That Bowers is just athletic, able to get outside and break the edge. Use that boundary as a 12th defender.
They'll send 4 men to the right and an empty backfield behind Bowers. One man split to the left of the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. He's on the left hash mark. Bowers with a man in motion to the left now. He'll drop back to throw, slinging it up the right side of the field to Flanagan at the 40-yard line. Flanagan gets to the 43 before he's brought down by Owasso defenders, but that'll bring up a 1st down for the Purple Dogs.
Flanagan in that slot just goes down and sits in the middle of that zone, and Bowers throws a rocket right to him. And again, Grant, you've got to know where number 2 is. He's the guy that can beat you. Others may beat you. And we're having a chain gang problem here on the marker, but Flanagan, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist looking at film. Anybody that comes out with 300 yards receiving in 1 week might be the guy you got to watch for.
Fayetteville will have it at their own 44-yard line. Speaking of the marker, it is digital and neon. I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
In Oklahoma, but they get nice new toys to play with in Fayetteville. Thank you, Walmart. And I don't mean going to the store to shop. I mean the corporate overlords up the road here. 1st and 10. A handoff. First man through is going to get up to about the 48-yard line. And on the run there is going to be Jacob Sherrich for the Purple Dogs. And that'll bring up 2nd down and about 6 or so. Twins to the right, 1 man split to the left for Darius Bowers. He'll take the snap here, faking a handoff. He rolls to the left this time and connects with an open receiver at the 47 of the Rams. Down to the 40 he goes, finally brought down at about the 35. On the stop there for Owasso, it's Gage Laney.
Yeah, Deuce Mayberry was coming out to make the play, and he just took the hip fake from Beasley.
Charbonneau, the ball carrier for the Fayetteville Purple. Darius Bowers, so he's not going to change it here. Dropping back to pass, Bowers. He'll sling it up the right side of the field, connecting with Flanagan down at the 35-yard line. That's going to be a short gain, maybe of a yard or two. From the right hash mark, off the shotgun, it'll be Bowers with trips to the right, one man split to the left.
Give yourself a chance here.
Bowers.
Now we got movement, I think, by the right side of that offensive line.
Whistles blowing and laundry flowing here as the yellow flags come out.
Looked like the right guard, that was Matthew Mueller, just took a step earlier than everyone else.
So that'll be back on Fayetteville, and that'll bring them 5 yards to the north here. At the 40-yard line. Don't forget, coming up later this evening, we'll have a complete recap of this game on InsideOwasso.com and a photo gallery from Andy Hodges down on the sideline. Ryan Merrill's got video as well. Dropping back to throw, Bowers. He'll sling it up the left side of the field, connect with an open man at the 35, down to the 30. He's ran out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Bo Stuckey on the run and subsequently getting a first down for the Purple Dogs there.
Looking at some of these first quarter numbers real quick, Grant, is the Rams had 12 rushes in that first quarter for 96 yards, but only 1 of 6 in the passing game for -2 yards. And then 9 of 13 for Fayetteville for 84 yards and only 12 yards rushing. But right now, Fayetteville's putting together a nice drive.
Substitutions forthcoming, I believe. There's a little pause in the action here. Play clock hasn't even started running. We've got 8:34 left to play on the Johnny Kohler Custom Watches game clock, and the game tied at 3 apiece here.
Taking a long time conference here on the near side.
I think they were remeasuring to see if that made the first down cut or not, and it did. They just called it and signaled it and everything else. Swings to the right this time. One man near to the left. That's Charbonneau for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. Sherritt's the receiver in the shotgun next to the quarterback. Bowers dropping back to throw. He'll sling it up in the open field to an open receiver near the 3-yard line. Flags flying.
I think we may have a push off on the offense.
Yeah, they're going to.
No, they're going to call it on the Rams.
Call it on the Rams. Give the football to Fayetteville. They are on the Owasso 3-yard line, so they're getting closer to the promised land here.
I thought Charbonneau extended his arms into the back of the defender as he went to the outside boundary.
Well, sometimes what we think and what they think are two different things, especially here in Class 7A West, but y'all didn't hear me say that. Down at the 3-yard line, Bowers ready to roll here, ready to take the snap. Bowers rolling out to the right this time, looking to dial up a receiver. Can't do it as it's in and out of the hands of Connor Flanagan, so that'll set him up once again.
But again, he's wide open on the far side, and we've said it repeatedly. Find out where number 2 is and stick to him. He's Bowers' favorite receiver, and he'll force it in there.
Well, we have called his name a lot just in the pregame interviews.
Yeah.
So Flanagan's a coach's kid. He's well-read, and now we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a 30-second break and be back here in just a moment. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on KYFM. The Fayetteville Purple Dogs on the 3-yard line. We're They tried to throw it into the end zone just a moment ago, couldn't get anything going after a dropped pass by Connor Flanagan. Now Bowers on the keeper trying to roll into the promised land. He does so, and he'll give Fayetteville a 9-0 lead after the touchdown. Or 9-3 lead, I'm sorry.
Well, they sent two receivers way out on the right side, and Bowers was alone in the backfield and had a lead blocker on the left. And he just took the snap and followed that blocker, and we just didn't have the numbers to match up there.
Huxley Richardson will be the kicker here. He'll try to put this extra point through the uprights for Fayetteville. Here's the kick. It is up and good, and it's 10-3 in favor of the Purple Dogs. A 7-point lead for Fayetteville. Owasso looking to try to narrow the deficit when we come back. You're listening to Owasso Rams football presented by InsideOwasso.com. We're back in 30 seconds on KYFM. So Rob Williams has been along for many of those games as well.
Does a great job running these stats.
Hello, Travis Dunn. I know you were there for many of those 200 games, and appreciate all the work that you've done, and know you're listening back home tonight. Back deep to receive, it is going to be Deuce Mayberry and Julian Stoner setting up shop at the 5-yard line. Fayetteville kicking it from right to left, and again, the kicker is going to be Huxley Richardson, teeing it up at the 40-yard line. We're going to try here in a few minutes to send it down to Christian Favalora.
He's going to think we're just sitting him down there with a mic, Grant.
Or paying him to do nothing. I don't know. He had a few calls to make today, so we knew he was going to be a little tardy this evening, but that's okay. That was part of our deal. Back deep to receive, the Rams at the 30 they go, at the 40 they go.
There's a long flag
flying everywhere. At the 40-yard line on the run there for the Rams is Gage Laney. He's a kick returner.
That was a back judge. He threw that flag 30 yards, Grant.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy make a play like that.
It was quite a ways for sure, and we'll see what the
He may have played college baseball here on the campus of the University of Arkansas.
Dave Van Horn may be recruiting him if he didn't finish.
He can catch.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what they call it here.
They're taking it against the Rams. I think it was a hold, but boy, that came from deep.
I think if he can catch a fly ball in right field, you know, he might have a chance here at Arkansas for sure. And now, quick handoff, first man through, rolling out to the right side is going to be Will Keeney on the keeper is going to roll to the left side. He'll get up to about the 26-yard line.
Gets upended there by Marquez Douglas. I think the Rams going to have to try to become a little more creative on offense in their play calling. A little bit vanilla here so far.
Keeney with trips to the right this time, one man split to the left. Ready to take the snap with Nava there beside him. Dropping back to throw. Keeney guns it up the middle of the field. Pass is deflected and broken up by the Bulldogs, and Marquez Douglas
dropped a touchdown.
That'll bring up third down.
Had the inside receiver coming underneath about 10 yards deep, and Douglas cut the route, and if he's able to hang on, he's got to scamper about 25 yards, and it's a 14-point deficit.
Twins to the right side this time. Nava next to Keeney in the gun. Keeney ready to take it off that left hash mark. He drops back to throw, slings it up the right side of the field, aiming for Van Landingham. Great catch. Oh,
Grant Van Landingham.
Down at the 39-yard line of the Purple Dogs, he got it.
He just, Will Keeney put that ball out there beautifully, and Van Landingham, with his height, was able to out-jump the defender and come down with the catch. Van Landingham at 6'2", 192-pound senior. That'll get this team rolling.
Van Landingham split to the right, and a man in motion to the left.
I think we got a timeout, Purple Dogs.
Yeah, they may be wanting to talk things over as see what the referee says. Yeah, he says timeout Fayetteville, so we'll take it with him. Our score, 10-3 in favor of Fayetteville on the John E. Kohler Custom Watches game clock. We've got 7:21 left. We will take a 30-second timeout. Be back right after this. This is Owasso Ram Football on KYFM, presented by InsideOwasso.com. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I see your phone. I'm going to call Christian and tell him we've got him. Molly's got mine, or I'd use it.
Come on, man. Get your family under control.
She's at the concession stand. Welcome back to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry along with you. Christian Favalora is down there patrolling the sidelines, and we're going to see if we can get him on here in just a minute. Let's go down to Christian Favalora on the sidelines. And Christian, what's it looking like down there right now?
Steve, Grant caught that ball on the 39. I was standing on the 39-yard line, and that is candidate for catch of the year right now. What a play.
Absolutely. We'll go back down to Christian here in just a few minutes. Dropping back to throw, Keeney. His pass falls incomplete near the 35-yard line of the Purple Dogs.
Firing off the line, coming unabated, was Darby Fields, and another big fella getting a lick on Will Keeney. You don't want to see your quarterback take hits like that throughout a ball game, especially the size of these beefmasters on the defensive line.
We may have to issue a Fox News alert that our wireless microphone just started working. So Keeney ready to take that snap, man in motion to the left. That's Hayden. He gets a catch down
face mask
laterally. I think that they're going to drag him down here. Steve said face mask. If there's no penalty, they drag him for a loss, but they're throwing the flag on the other side. As on that run there, Hagan Hood for Owasso.
Thought it was pretty obvious in front of everybody.
Well, they're going to move the marker back up as
they're going to say holding.
Holding against the Rams is the penalty. And that's going to mark it off at about the 44-yard line. Keeney with trips to the right now and one man split to the left. They wind the clock into motion here. Keeney ready to take the snap there with Hagan Hood right there next to him in the gun. Rolling out to the right. He's sacked in the back behind the line, and this is a big loss for the Rams here. He's brought back to the 45-yard line, our own 45-yard line, Steve.
Marcus Tortorello just burst through the middle of that line, and I'm noticing, Grant, that Fayetteville rotates a lot of these defensive line. They've got 6 or 7, maybe 8 guys that they're just running in and out of there fresh. And right now, as good as they did in the first quarter, the Rams having trouble keeping their quarterback protected.
So on fourth down, Owasso is going to kick it away. And back to receive is Jacob Sherritts for Fayetteville. Here's the kick, high and wobbly. Jacob is going to call for a fair catch at the 20-yard line, and that is where Fayetteville will have it, 1st and 10. Tonight's ball game brought to you by a number of fine sponsors, including Owasso First Assembly of God. They're the sponsors of the Keys to Victory, and you can get keys to victory in your spiritual walk every Sunday morning with Pastor Bruce McCarty and company. They're meeting in their gym right now while they remodel their new sanctuary, but 10:30 the service time. You can watch it online at owassofirst.com. Trips to the right this time, and Darius Bowers in the gun for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. He splits the hash mark and is ready to take the snap here. Bowers back to throw, guns it up the middle to an open receiver at the 26. His pass is complete to Alex Mills. And Mills is brought down at that 26, 27-ish yard line.
Coming up on 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Rams trail by 7, 10-3. Got to get a stop here and get the ball back.
Second down, 3 to go. Ball spotted on that 26-yard line. Back to throw Bowers, looking to dial up a receiver, rolls to the right, trying to throw it to somebody. He connects with an open man at the 50, down to the 45, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Purple Dogs. Bo Stuckey on the run there for Fayetteville. And he will march into the end zone to make it a 16-3 contest. 16-3 the score with 5:39 left to go on the Johnny Kohler Custom Watches game clock. And they're going to try to kick the extra point here. Extra point attempt coming. And we will see what Huxley Richardson could do right here. The kick is up through the uprights, and it is good. And that'll make our score 17-3 in favor of the Purple Dogs. Rams down by 14. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on KYFM. Is going to be for the Owasso Rams, Julian Stoner. Let's go down to Christian on the sidelines. Christian, what do we got to do to turn this thing around? You're down there with Coach B. What's he saying?
Well, guys, the pass over the middle it's there for both quarterbacks, and it just seems like, from what we've seen so far, Fayetteville is making the most of it. That was a pretty simple route, pretty simple coverage, and there was just a lot of green right there.
All right, we'll check in with Christian here in just a few minutes. Back deep to receive, Mayberry and Stoner as they're setting up shop near the 3-yard line. We'll see what they can do here in just a minute as Huxley Richardson teeing it up at the 40-yard line. Fayetteville kicking from right to left on the dial if you're just joining us. Well, he was going to kick it, and now it's a short kick, end over end, and it is going to bounce near the 20-yard line and be picked up by Gage Laney. Laney at the 25 on his horse is drilled, fumble on the play. Who's got it?
Rams.
I think the Rams picked it up. He was near the 22. Or make that the 27, and that is where they're going to spot it here. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Gage Laney trying to make a run here, but couldn't do it. They'll have it 1st and 10, 27-yard line.
Well, we just got to put together another drive, Grant, and try to get something positive going here. You took a big shot there, and the Rams are close to getting something going on offense. Start the running game. There we go.
Handoff, first man through, gets up to the 29. Nava on the run for the Rams.
You're going to have to do some things to slow this defensive pressure down, whether it be short screens, quick outs, or get the ball out into some space where you've only got 3-on-3 and not 7-on-7 up the middle.
2nd and 7 from the 29-yard line as a flag flies. Keeney was calling to his teammates here, and then they throw the yellow laundry. We'll see what the call is.
Offside against Fayetteville.
They jumped off a little early, and that'll take it up to the 34-yard line. Penalty of 5 yards on the play, and that'll march Owasso forward just a little bit. Keeney handing off to Nava. Nava up the middle, gets up to the 37-yard line. Dog pile on top of him, led by Fayetteville's Karsten Johnson. That'll bring up third down and about 3.
Very methodical here. Rams taking their time.
Oh, no. Wait, they're going to make it a first down. Another Westerman Financial Services first down. So move up those chains, Steve. That's good for us.
Isolated coverage over here. One-on-one with Van Landingham.
And now a handoff. First man through again is Goins. That's going to be a mod triplet up to the 37 or so. Not much further. Carson Jones,
and our center is going to be down and slow to get up. That's Richbow down on the ground.
They've got the trainers out to look him over and help him out.
Not a lot of depth on that offensive line.
Teams are coming off the field, so while they tend to him, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we will continue this first quarter of play. 4:27 left to go in the first half. Our score. Are tending to Javon Richbow, the Owasso center, the senior center, and they're helping him off the field, Steve, and that's not something you want to see for the Rams because, as you mentioned, that offensive line, not with a lot of depth, especially at center.
Well, and Richbow appears to have injured his left knee, and he's walking off very slowly with some assistance. That is not a good sign. Logan Kirkpatrick is the backup. The good news is he's a senior. Now the problem is Richbow's 285, Kirkpatrick's 228, so you give up about 60 pounds there.
That's a whole sixth grader.
Yeah.
Twins to the right this time, and now under center Keeney, he's going to have Eddie Nava right there next to him between the hash marks. Man in motion to the left this time. Keeney back to throw. He'll drive it up the middle and try to connect with Van Landingham.
Got grabbed from behind.
Yeah, they're going to throw the yellow laundry on that as Isaac Peters was on Van